I want to settle something today because I hear this all the time and it drives me nuts. And the research is unambiguous. Speed is not a fixed trait that you were either handed at birth or not handed at birth. I have blue eyes, and no matter how much I practice something, I'm never going to change them to brown eyes. They're not going to change. That is something I was born with. Speed, however, is not something you were born with. It is a skill, a complex, learnable, highly adaptable motor skill. And the moment we understand the physiology, the old argument of you're either fast or you're not just falls apart. Let me walk you through what's actually happening when a human being runs fast. You'll see why every one of those mechanisms responds to training. We can start with the simplest equation in all of sprint science. Running velocity equals stride length multiplied by stride frequency. That's it. To get faster, you either cover more ground per step, take more steps quickly, or ideally both. What determines stride length and frequency? I'll tell you, it's force. Specifically, how much force can you apply into the ground and how quickly can you apply it? Here's where it gets fascinating. Researchers at SMU showed us that elite sprinters are not actually moving their legs significantly faster than recreational runners, but what separates them from those recreational runners is the magnitude of force they apply to the ground in a very short ground contact time, often less than 0.1 seconds at top speed. So the question then becomes, can we train the body to produce more force faster? And the answer is absolutely. This brings us to the concept of rate of force development, or RFD. RFD is exactly what it sounds like. How quickly your nervous system and muscles can generate force from a standing start. And RFD is absolutely trainable. Studies on resistance training, plyometric training, and sprint-specific training consistently show improvements in RFD ranging from 15 to 50% in untrained people. That means you can take a person who has never trained before and start training, and they will improve 15 to 50% within 8 to 12 weeks. Think about that. Half of a person's force production capacity can be unlocked through training. That's not the signature of a fixed genetic trait. Now let's talk about the stretch-shortening cycle. We all hear about the stretch-shortening cycle and think of plyometrics, right? Because this is the magic of running. Every time your foot hits the ground, your tendons, especially that Achilles tendon, and your muscles store elastic energy. Almost like a rubber band stretching. The further you stretch it out, the more energy it's storing. That energy is released on the push-off. And here's the great part. Tendon stiffness, elastic capacity, and reactive strength all adapt to training. Plyometric work, hopping drills, sprint exposure, these literally remodel your connective tissue over weeks and months. Let's address muscle fiber types. Okay, we all hear about type 1, type 2 muscle fibers. This is where people often get stuck. Yes, we have type 1 muscle fibers, also known as the slow twitch fibers, and we have type 2 muscle fibers, which are known as the fast twitch muscle fibers. And yes, the ratio you're born with has some genetic influence, but, and this is critical, fiber expression is plastic. Research has shown that training shifts fibers along a continuum. Type 2X fibers can become more like type 2A fibers with endurance training. And this is very important. The neural recruitment of those fibers, which is your ability to actually use what you have, improves dramatically with training. So that brings me to probably the most underappreciated part of the science. The nervous system, something I talk a lot about in my videos. When someone is described as naturally fast, what we often see is favorable neural coordination, firing frequency, intramuscular timing, and reflex efficiency. All of these adapt with practice. This is why a woman who has never sprinted in all of her adult life can see percentage improvements in the double digits in a 30-meter sprint with 8 to 12 weeks of training. The muscles have not changed dramatically yet, but the brain has learned to coordinate them. Now I want to speak directly to women watching this video, particularly the mothers. Here's what the research actually says about your situation. First off, age is not a barrier. People think it is. Studies on master athletes and on adults who have been sedentary their whole lives consistently show that speed, power, and reactive strength improve substantially with the appropriate programming well into their 40s, 50s, and even 60s and beyond. Second, postpartum bodies are remarkably adaptive. The connective tissue, the neuromuscular system, the metabolic machinery all respond beautifully to progressive training. Third, and this is so important, technique alone, just learning to position your body correctly, drive your knees, use your arms efficiently, and apply force into the ground can produce measurable speed gains before you've even added a single pound of muscle. So when a coach tells an athlete, your son, your daughter, or you, or anyone, you're just not fast, what that statement reflects is not science. It reflects the absence of training, the absence of skill development, and honestly, a misunderstanding of the literature. Speed is built through specific stimulus, maximum intent sprinting, plyometric loading, heavy resistance training for force production, technique refinement, and adequate recovery. Give the body those ingredients and watch it respond every time. Here's my closing thought for you, and I want you to hear this clearly. The human body was designed to move more powerfully. The capacity for speed lives inside the architecture of your muscles, your tendons, your nervous system, waiting to be developed. Genetics may set the ceiling, but almost no one, and I mean almost no one, is operating anywhere near that ceiling. The gap between where most people are and where they could be is enormous, and it is bridgeable through intelligent progressive training. Speed is a skill, the science says so. And the wonderful implication of that truth is it belongs to anyone willing to train for it. If this video is already shifting how you think about your body, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kelteek04, Keltek04 on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, Kelly Tekin, Tekin. Stay with me because in some of my upcoming videos, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 drills that produce the fastest results. But first, drop a comment and tell me, what did your coach tell you about your speed? What did your son's coach tell you about his speed? What did your daughter's coach tell you about her speed? Listen to me. You are not slow. You were never slow. You were just never taught. And it's not too late. Into your 30s, 40s, if you're 55, not after 2 kids, not after 4 kids, not if you've never had any kids. Your body is waiting for the right stimulus. Go give it to her. I'll see you in the next video. Go out, make it a great day.